for all of you in the journey that you've seen for so many years, how do you see a shift in mindset of people from getting home puppies, breed dogs and puppies, to adopting native dogs, not necessarily puppies? Or do you often see people say that, oh, I only want a puppy, not an adult dog? Like, what's been the mindset shift?
See, this is something that's it's actually I don't know necessarily what's the big percentage, but yes, there is a lot of people now who are more aware of adopting indie dogs, indie cats. They realize how easy it is, what the benefits are of these animals, and how basically they're the same. Okay, there are a lot of people who still like to have breeds, and that's their prerogative. Like there are a lot of people who still message us saying, "Can we have a Labrador or a German Shepherd?" And of course, we do stress on adopting indies because they are just a lot more easier. These other dogs come with a lot of health issues, and also I think a lot of people are aware of breeders. So basically, about the our last rescue, which was probably the first time I ever cried in my life, was with the two dogs that we adopted from a breeder, female German Shepherd and a female Pit Bull. So people a lot, and they were really in very gruesome conditions and small cages, no food, very little filthy water to drink. So I think a lot more people, a lot more younger people, I must say that it's a lot more of the younger people, maybe the age group of 15 right up till say 30, 35, who are more keen on adopting that demographic. The older generation, you still have a lot of people who like their German Shepherds, etc., because it's more like they've always had them. So that's what. But yes, a lot of people are looking out to adopt indies.
That's a good thing to know, and I never thought of this particular age group looking at adopting dogs. I know for a matter of fact that a lot of people are up for adoption these days, but we still get requests around breed dogs which are up for adoption, and I see more people being very particular that it has to be a puppy.
Yeah.
Right. This is something that I'd like to understand from you guys based on your experience. Is I, when I get inquiries for people who want to adopt puppies, they also often give a justification that it is because you get to spend more time with the puppy, and as the puppy is growing up, your bonding with the puppy is more. Whereas if it's an adult dog, it may not be the same, right? So, what are your thoughts about it? Is it true that the bonding will not be the same?
Not at all. So, a lot of people have a notion that they have to get it from a puppy, then only it's clean, one, that they can get it vaccinated and all of that. And they believe that you can do this only at the stage of a puppy. They don't realize you can do it at any stage of the dog's life. So, two, they also feel that if you bring it home when it's a puppy, you can firstly understand its temperament and also modify its behavior and train it. And like they have all these things that you can do only when it's a puppy, which is not true. So I have 3 dogs with me. One actually recently went missing, but all of them came to me when they were adults. And all of them are completely trained. They are fully vaccinated, dewormed, clean, and they've never bitten anybody, never charged at anyone. They're all very good dogs. So that, I think, is a complete myth that you have to get it when it's a puppy. But
I think, sorry.
Take it up.
Recently, I've seen people adopt looking for older pets also. So I think they're realizing that it's easier taking care of them because puppies need constant care and things like that. And now that they have time during this lockdown to adjust with the animal, I've seen a small change of people inquiring to adopt slightly older dogs.
Nice. So, question to each of you individually: what has been your personal biggest challenge in, during the journey of Fluffy Nut? It could be related to your career plus this. It could be related to family plus this.
Okay, who wants to start?
Arigo.
Okay. Balancing a regular job and Fluffy Nut sometimes does get a little hard because during work you're worried that someone might object to you spending too much time with Fluffy Nut, or yeah. But otherwise, I think whenever we have the time, we have met our deadlines and things like that. And also, I think fundraising has there are so many cases, and we try to support as many rescuers and things like that. So fundraising has also been a challenge at times.
So for me, I think when it comes to time, I'm kind of good with time because I'm a freelancer. So it just, I'm blessed that way. But the real challenge is fundraising, as Arundhati said, because see, everything costs money. Even to advertise something, even if you want to host a drive and everything is given free, you still have to advertise for it, which does cost a lot of money. And a lot of people. I mean, yes, we are very blessed. We've had a lot of people who've donated money, but we are still a rather new organization and a very poor organization. So that way, our hands are definitely tied because of finances. We're not able to do as much as we want to do. Although we are not a shelter who have like say monthly expenses, we still have a lot of people approaching us for fundraising posts and saying we've got like dogs that need surgery for 25 and 30,000. Then we are so strapped with funds that we can't even make a donation immediately. We got to wait for a couple of days till we've raised those funds, and sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Most times you do, a lot of times you don't. So that, I think, for me, is personally one of the biggest challenges. Because if we have had more financial freedom, we'd be able to do definitely 100 times more than we're doing right now.
Because I think that's one hope all of us have, right? How we wish that we could just donate all our lives to animals. Like if we had enough financial stability and freedom, I think it would have been great for us to do whatever we can.
We don't want to turn anyone down. Like we want to do as much as we can.
Yeah, and it's a balancing act. Balancing is the most difficult thing. You try to balance between family, between your job, profession, and this. It's not easy for sure. So so Melinda, next.
So apart from this, one of the biggest challenges I know we all face is people think, so they've picked up a puppy from the side of the road. They call us at 4 o'clock in the evening and they're like, I've got this puppy and it needs to go right now. My landlord says, no, I can't keep it. And they're like, come and take it now. How will we come and take it now? Where will we keep this puppy? Give us some time to find a foster home. And finding a foster home is difficult. Finding someone to adopt, it takes months sometimes. So we do advise people, if you see a healthy puppy on the road, let it be. Leave it there. If it needs medical attention, yes, we will get it medical attention. But at the most, put some food out for the puppy and let it be there, let it learn to survive. Because a lot of people, they take in the puppy, they keep it for 4 months, and then leave it back on the road. But those 4 months were crucial to learn that survival skills, which you took away. You gave it food. So we have those issues to deal with. For me, that is one of the most challenging of trying to explain to these people that we cannot come and pick up your puppy immediately.
Right, I agree, because even during this COVID-19 situation, we see more and more people going out there and feeding the native animals in general, giving them water, giving them food. But my major thought about this has been that, okay, now when we get back to our normal lives, of course, we're not going to have the same kind of time to go and feed animals across so many locations, right? We're going to get busy with our lives. So what about them? Like, they're used to someone coming and giving food on a daily basis during this time. Do you see that as a concern as well?
So most feeders are told to feed every alternate day or not to feed in the same spot, so that these animals need to go out and hunt for their food. So I do feed myself, but I make sure I put it in different spots every day. And I also don't put it out on certain days. Like I leave a gap so that if something happens tomorrow and I'm not going to put out food, they know how to find another source.
Lovely.
See, also like I was speaking to somebody else and they said that when you start doing, like obviously when we are feeding these animals, we're taking away a very important part of their life, and that is basically survival skills and foraging, right? So like Melinda said, giving a gap in their feeding, like maybe like for years now I've been feeding my my stray dogs, but once a week I don't feed them because I want them to go hungry so they go out looking for food. Because see, supposing God forbid, like just say something happens to me and I pass off and there's nobody to feed these dogs, they should be they should have that access to go out there and not forget how to forage. Because once a dog gets used to it, it's like keeping a lion in captivity and then letting it out to the wild. It's not going to know how to hunt. So there are a lot of people, I mean, it's very contradictory. A lot of people tell me, oh, how could you not feed them for a day? But I say that it's really important because then they realize, okay, we've not got food today, and they go out and look for food. So I know it might not go a long way, but it definitely helps because these animals, you are leaving a little part of their natural instincts back in them, you know.
In fact, we just finished our feeders campaign. We started this campaign to help feeders during lockdown. And towards the end of the campaign, since now mobility is a bit easier, and even the funds, I mean, we've exhausted all our funds, so we've closed the campaign. But some of the feeders did mention that earlier they were feeding every day, but now they're slowly reducing it to like alternate days so that, you know, as things get back to normal, even the animals get back to their basic instincts and things like that.
Right, absolutely. And now hopefully they start finding food now that shops and all are opening up. So hopefully they find their food in their original location.